some sketchy shit. Doo-dah, doo-dah, hope I get away with it. Oh, da doo-dah day.
Hello, folks. I am obviously not J Dog McKeel,
And I'm not
and
going to be him either.
nope. So evidently, the Halicon Christmas party is in full swing, and I forgot that we were sort of not going to do a show tonight, so I scheduled one anyway at the last moment in a state of sheer panic. Uh,
And then he got stuck with me.
Well, that's what I get for not taking all of my vitamins. Mm. And our usual, I don't even know which channel our usual audience would be in if they even saw that this was coming up. So it is what it
Well,
is.
they wouldn't have gotten the 30-minute warning, but they'd at least get the notification that we went live.
Well, and then the chat itself that goes out to all of us basically.
Mm.
Um, Emily, if you're willing to come in, um, do it and have your post-it note handy. Um, Camera covering at strategic moments is indicated because of the recording. Uh,
This video is recorded for quality and training purposes.
I don't know about quality. Um, I gave up quality control several years back, and it shows. Uh, Got to trim my beard. I'm starting to look like I'm trying to cut in on Uncle Carl's territory here.
Yeah, I need to get. I was going to get mine trimmed today while we were out at the mall. They got a haircut place in there. And then when we got to the mall and I realized how cold the wind was, I went, you know what? I'm going to let this protect my face for another few days at least.
Yes, really. Let's see. I just heard a ping on Messenger, I do believe. Nope, nothing there. Uh, my phone does this to me all the time. It gives me an alert. Somebody sent me a message. I go look at the phone, and there's no messages anywhere. It's like the security camera just told me, "Hey, there's a spider out here. Save me." Um, well, Lindsay was off at the church for the live nativity this evening. I went past there on my way to the store to pick up a few odds and ends for tonight, and I noticed the camels had been delivered. Actual live camels
Okay. I
in
heard
Northeast
you
Georgia.
correctly.
And Lindsay said, well, I was the only angel there, and they decided to put me in the bucket lift. And I told you not to get the bucket lift. Those things are dangerous. Especially for somebody in an angel costume that has no room for the safety harness anywhere.
Oh,
Yeah. Sorry, 50 years of OSHA has definitely made an impact on my strategic thinking about doing jobs. I'm sure you can relate.
oh, I can.
Mm. Let me
Most
see here.
definitely can. All right. Let's close this
Well,
out.
evidently I have to leave the YouTube channel to look at other YouTube channels and see if there's anybody on one of the others. But since nobody said anything in the StreamYard chat, I don't know if I scheduled everything correctly or not. I mean, um,
Looks like we're live on Stupid O'Clock and HoloCon Online.
and there should be a Stupid O'Clock Facebook as well. I don't.
I didn't even know we still streamed that.
I don't know whether I was supposed to or not. So I just pulled up stuff. I've got a list of things here that's like longer than my pant leg of places to schedule Stupid O'Clock. And some of them I don't even have access to. I mean, I don't have a code word for Joe Dog's Twitch or half a dozen things on this list.
Mm-hmm.
I got to quit using the same piece of post-it note for several different cryptic incantations. Is I may understand them when I write them down. When I read them 2 years later, I don't even comprehend what am I talking about. But since Aunt Donna and Uncle Carl and Dawn aren't here, I get the feeling we were just supposed to take a night off tonight. And due to my panic attack, we didn't exactly take a night off, but these things, they happen.
Mm-hmm.
I did want to compliment Thesis on his stream tonight, his tea house stream tonight, because that was a very, very interesting history lesson. I enjoyed it quite thoroughly. Man knows his stuff. Oh, don't tell me I've got an update now. I'm in the middle of something.
Isn't that the way it always goes?
Uh-huh. It's wanting me to reboot the computer, and I'm going, no. Yeah, it still works. I see it.
I know it used to be, every so often you had to go to this like specific page and authorize StreamYard to be able to show your name, and
There's all kinds of things. Since they've added the vertical and horizontal layout to StreamYard, it gets extraordinarily confusing because only YouTube automatically goes to the portrait or landscape orientation rather than portrait and landscape. So
I just thought of something. I need to see when my StreamYard renews.
yes. and they were having a sale. I don't know if it's still on.
Oh,
Um,
I'm locked in on a lifetime discount.
My personal StreamYard account is one of the free ones, so it doesn't matter. I don't have to renew that. I hope. Um, I don't use it anyway. If I do a cooking show, it'll wind up on Joe Dog's channel, and I can pick my own uh, YouTube for it to go to
Yeah.
because it's still on the list. Matter of fact, in the scheduling thing, the list is endless. It just goes on and on and on and on and on and on. I couldn't even write all that stuff down on a Post-it note. I'd have to use a full sheet of typing paper for that. Don't know why, but you know,
Yeah,
the
I'm gonna have
boss.
to go back through my records and figure out when that bill hit the last time. I
I
know it's
think
right after January. It's right after New Year. I just don't remember when.
we got this one for right after income tax refund season hits, so that we all have a little bit of money. Still,
So I, I was wrong. It's not right after New Year's Day. It is New Year's Day.
well, better get on it.
Yep. Yeah, I got my bonus from work coming in next week, so that's what's paying for StreamYard for the next year.
Um, so Trey not only got a raise, but a promotion.
Yes. The promotion isn't official yet. Um, but she's gonna be running a project of her own in the next year or so. So
Lots
she
of hand flapping and running in circles, I assume, until it starts going well.
no, she so the thing I love about our company is they won't just hang you out to dry. You know, our boss wouldn't have promoted her if he didn't feel that she was ready.
Oh, I had no doubt about her capabilities.
You know,
It's just being in charge of something is a little bit more stressful than actually just being uh, on the team.
right. And that's that's something that's takes a little getting used to is going from that technician, being an inspector to being the supervisor. You're not going to be able to be out in the field, all the time.
Yeah.
Well,
Um,
most of them can't do that. I might, but I'm also you know, an odd case where, I will set up a mobile office just so I don't have to sit in one of those desk chairs all day.
well, I hope nobody makes it necessary for her to write them up or fire them immediately. Um, Although the temptation is probably there from the beginning.
No, we've actually got a really good group up here in this area because the the inspector she'll most likely end up with is one of our best friends,
Mm.
and because it's a concrete patching job, and I call him Captain Concrete. I've also looked at him and called him Rain Man. Um,
I can just imagine why. Uh,
well, he picked up on it on concrete very quickly when he started with NDOT. And to the point, all of us, once you've done a couple concrete jobs, you can look at the concrete coming down the chute and go, yeah, it's about a 4.5-inch slump, or it'll be coming down. You're watching it come down, looking at the driver going, you might want to add a gallon or two of water to that.
Mhm.
Like,
Yes, if it
it'll
doesn't
pass the
freely
slump.
slide.
It'll pass the slump test as it currently is, but you're going to kill these laborers in the 100-degree heat.
Mm.
But he also picked up on, the sticky, like when we go, like we run a concrete yield, air, and slump tests. The air and yield tests are done in the same bucket, and the yield is basically just you get a bunch of the weights off your batch ticket for your coarse ag, your fine aggregate, how much cement mix was put in, how much water, whole bunch of math to that one.
Yeah, I can imagine. So I would guess from the Rain Man reference, this guy is really good at the mental mathematics.
Yeah, and it also helps, if you're using the same equipment year after year.
Oh yeah,
Um,
you know how the thing behaves.
yeah. Well, you know what your empty bucket weight already is. You know what the volume of the bucket is. So you already know, based on, numbers that you've seen for a 10 cubic yard truck already from the past, you already know, okay, well, as long as when I weigh this bucket with the concrete in it, as long as it falls between, just say 43.74 pounds and 45.02, I'm going to have a passing yield, and that's something he picked up on very quickly. But the little dickhead has also picked up, like, he'll walk up, he'll reach down into the wheelbarrow and just grab a handful, kind of roll it around before we even
Oh,
start running the tests. And he'll be like, yeah, yield's going to be a little low. It'll pass, but it'll be low. Well, what do you think it's going to be? Probably about a 987. And I'll be damned if he ain't right within a margin of error.
Daddy used to do the same thing with soil tests on the farm.
Mm-hmm.
He'd walk out in the middle of a field, grab a handful of dirt, and go, "Hmm, we're going to need some lime on this,
Mm-hmm.
or we're going to need a lot of ammonium nitrate this year, or this field's going to have to be planted in soybeans to build the chemistry back up."
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Well, he also figured out once you put the concrete into the bucket and get it all striked off, he'd walk up, kind of slap the top of it, see how sticky it was.
Joe Dog, I have no idea what your cryptic message entails.
And he'd slap the top of it and see how sticky it was, and he'd go, the air's going to be about 6.5. Be damned if he wasn't within a margin of error again.
Mm-hmm.
He always is within like 0.0, and in the case of the air, he's within about 0.2 of what it ends up testing as. The yield, he's within about 0.02 to 0.03. And it's like, and this is why whenever we have concrete, I want you on the job. Have a good night, Joe Dog.
Good night, Joe Dog. Hope the party went well. Yeah, it's
But
amazing when you do something for a long, long time You don't really even have to get all that um, technical with the tests. You just walk up and look at what you've got, and you go, "Ooh, this is going to need a little bit more of this, or this is going to be a little bit over that." Mm, People
Well,
with
the
experience
thing is,
make a job easier.
he's only been doing this about 6 years.
Oh, he picked on it quick then.
Yeah, he picked up on it after his first season at NDOT, and he actually. So when we're doing large pours, the
Hmm.
QC guys from the concrete plant will come out, and if they see Tony on the job site, they'll just walk right up to him, bypass everybody else on the job site, just walk up to
Hmm.
him, and he'll sit there with the QC guys making bets on who's going to be closer on the numbers, guessing how everything's coming out.
Mm.
But he's also there was one night we had a it's called a not latex modified, it was a silica fume uh bridge deck overlay, which is a weird concrete mixture. We still run the same tests and stuff, but it's not like a true concrete. And this stuff, especially in the summer, is very volatile. And if I'm remembering correctly, um, like in the morning when it's cooler, they need less of an additive for the air, but as it gets hotter in the day, they have to add more of it, to the point that when it leaves their plant, it's actually outside of spec. But when it reaches the job site, it's like right in the middle of spec.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And
Oh, I did want to say, tell Trey that she is not actually supposed to put garden gnomes every 3 feet along the bridge. Although you have a friend that would appreciate that, or
that's the
uh,
same friend that I've been talking about.
oh,
Uh,
God, the one that Trey randomly goes to his house and puts a new garden gnome on his porch to wait till he notices it.
when we were all in the same office for a while, she was putting a new one on his desk every Monday. It took
I
him a
bet he
month.
looked forward to that.
It took him a month to notice,
Oh dear.
mainly because he's never in the office. He is one of those. He is not office material whatsoever.
He's strictly hands on.
He wants to be out in the field. You know, like he doesn't even want a supervisor spot.
Mm.
No aspirations ever of taking one. Not that he wouldn't be good at it. He'd be good at it, but he doesn't want to be locked down to a desk.
I told the people at the factory almost exactly the same thing. Um, I'm good at what I do. Don't don't promote me.
Yeah,
Just let me retire. I've only got a little while left, and thanks to the union, that got written into a contract that they wanted to do with my job. I'm going, what are you going to do? Put me back on the line? You going to make me drive a forklift again? I mean, I can do that. I won't be happy.
right.
But
Yeah,
then,
we we were doing this deck pour the following day, but the night before we were playing Call of Duty together, and we were on Discord talking. And his phone starts ringing. I hear him go, "Why in the hell is Mike from Ozinga calling me?" It's one of their QC guys.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Probably butt dialed you or something, And so he answers, and I can only hear, his side of the conversation. And I hear him go, "No, early in the morning, you don't need as much of the air and trainer, but once it heats up in the afternoon, you're going to need to add a lot more so that it's in spec by the time it gets out there." What the fuck? So he gets off the phone. What the hell was that all about? He goes, apparently they've got a pour out on 94 tomorrow for a silica fume overlay. I said, yeah, that's mine. Ozinga's quality control was calling an NDOT tech. Mind you, he wasn't even a Highway Tech 1, which is the highest you can be before supervisor yet.
Hey, what do you need?
He also had another time, and I wouldn't have believed it if I hadn't been sitting on Discord with him. His supervisor calls him the one day, and I hear him rattling off a whole, bunch of answers about concrete, and he gets off the phone. I said, "What the hell is that all about?" So it's middle of winter. I said, "You guys don't have any pours going on your project?" He goes, "No, but Tom was in some training / meeting with a bunch of other supervisors and engineers, and he goes, they were all debating about the answers to some of these concrete questions, and Tom went, well, I think I know who I can call."
Use the phone a friend, yes.
Yeah. A room full of project supervisors, project managers, and project engineers had to call an inspector.
Hey, it happens. I ran into some trouble at a factory because I was doing moisture tests on truckloads of crushed glass that they were going to put in the melter. And if it had too much water in it, steam explosion. You do not want a 3-story tall electric glass furnace blowing up.
No.
Even though they had the safety stuff in the design to where it would have wound up in the basement, but there would have been a lot of steel trusses and plates in between the 3 stories tall and the basement that would have had to have been replaced. And I'm going, this stuff's been in the oven for like 3 hours and the moisture's still too high. That's going to have to sit and dry out almost the entire summer and pray it don't rain. And if you get a rainy season, you're going to have to go cover this stuff with tarps to make sure it doesn't suck up more moisture. Just, I got good at some of that stuff. They had me out with every installer and every manufacturer we had to test against to make sure our stuff was still competitive. They actually liked the fact that I got assigned because I just talked to them like somebody I've been working with for decades, and hey, this is this, this is that. That's really good. That pink stuff really sucks, which the guys that sell the pink stuff did not like. But they had caved into requests from the installers to make it as soft as possible so it didn't itch so much. And I'm going, it's fiberglass. It's going to itch.
Yep.
But you made it soft, so its test results are third rate. Now we had a couple of close competitors. I mean, there were some things they made. I mean, like the big rolls of inch and a half stuff that like you'd see being used to insulate a mobile home
Hmm.
or a metal building, just thin as all get out. You rolled that stuff out, and it was the right thickness after having been in a bag compressed for 90 days.
Hmm.
It was just I just told my boss, look, we gotta step up our game. These guys are getting good.
Yeah. We had a project we did a couple years ago, and one of the ramps that Tony was over was we were doing concrete patching on it. So I went down to his side of the project. So I really didn't have much going on my side to give him a hand running tests and making the beams and everything. And we're looking at this mix coming out of the truck, and there's two main suppliers in our area, Ozinga and Smith. And we cringe every time we hear the contractor go, "Oh yeah, we're using Smith."
Subpar material.
No, it's all sourced from the same places. They just, for whatever reason, can't seem to ever get their mixes right.
Mm.
And like, it was so bad on one project that we went to the prime contractor and said, "Look, you guys are using Ozinga. Everything has passed with flying colors. We've had, we've gotten the beam breaks on at 3 days or earlier with your mix, with their mix. You need to go to your sub and be like, hey, you need to switch." Because Smith that year was having so many issues. They were on a one of the contractors used them for a bridge deck pour, and we normally make about 4 to 6 beams depending on what the contractor wants.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if it's crunch time and they're wanting to try and get the bridge opened sooner. But that particular bridge, they made 4 beams. All 4 failed, which back then meant they had to wait 28 days to be able to open the bridge to traffic. And they ended up coring like 2 or 3 of the beams, and even the compression tests passed, but at like the low end,
which is not what you want for a bridge.
right? And now they've actually taken that part of the spec out. It's no longer, open it once you get 550 psi on a beam break or 28 days. It's now you need the beam breaks to break properly. Otherwise, they'll core them, and if the compression tests still fail, then they get to rip everything out and start from scratch.
That does not sound like an easy job to me.
Yeah. But
on second thought, tell Trey to go ahead and put garden gnomes everywhere.
But so we're out there and we're looking at this mix and it's like this stuff is crap. Like we could tell just it coming down the chute, we're like, there's no way this is passing. But
Uh,
we have to run the test so that there's actual paper trail.
documentation.
Yep. And we go through and we run the test. We run the yield. The yield passed on the high end, which when we saw that, it's like, well, the air's shot then, because if yield passed at a 1.0, it was like 1.019. The high end is 1.02.
Oh,
So they were literally just within spec. But generally, if you have yield that high, your air is going to just absolutely suck. And it did.
yeah, I would think so. Yeah. Either you got way too much or way too little, and I suspect way too much.
Actually, it'd be way too little at that
Oh,
point.
really? Really? Enlighten me. This is not something I am any kind of expert in whatsoever, but I poured a little bit of concrete at home, but I'm not trying to do a bridge.
Well, there's a big difference between using bag mix and going off of a actual formula.
Yes.
Because I wonder, I wonder if I have any. Let me look here real quick. I might have an example.
I once wrote down a formula that some people that were building their own house and carport said, hey, this is the right amount of bags of this many pounds of pre-mixed concrete to buy to cover this many square feet to this particular depth required for a driveway or a parking garage or whatever. And I'm going, that's useful information. So I wrote it down. Don't know where the fuck I wrote it down.
It seems like that is missing something. Oh no, it's not. It's there. Can you pop up the screen I shared?
Oh, okay. Yep, I got it.
So this is what one of the batch tickets look like that we
Right.
get.
I recognize things like that from the factory when I was doing inventory.
So you've got your first line, which is your coarse aggregate, which is CA. FA is your fine aggregate, which is your sand. CEM is your cement mix. Then you have slag, water, and then your water reducer and your air entrainer. The things we actually look at when we're entering the batch tickets is the two different aggregates, the cement and the slag and the water. So
well, yeah, obviously those would all be extremely vital depending on the intended purpose of that slab of concrete you fixing to pour.
Mm-hmm. And depending on the type of mix, which this was what was this? A class A? What did I use this for? 94. I think this was a class A mix. Let's see, 395 plus 169. 564 pounds. So yeah, I think that's class A if I remember correctly. So the more you have of everything to where you're raising that yield, the less room there is for air when you think about it.
Yeah.
So when the yield that we ran was like I said, it was like a 1.019, which is right there at the threshold. 1.02 is your cutoff. Your air is then going to be lower. Your air percentage on the meter has to read between 5% and 8% after correction. There used to be an aggregate correction that we had to run.
Okay.
And that would tell us that generally aggregate correction almost every single year was 0.3%. So if you're on the high end, then your range was actually 8.3% to 5.3, because once you did the 3% correction on it, or the 0.3%, that brought you down within the range.
Mm-hmm.
So when we ran the test, the meter showed 5% before correction. So with correction, that put it at a 4.7%, which was outside of spec.
Yeah.
And the QC guy from Smith happened to be out there, and he looks at Tony and I, he goes, "Well, what were your numbers?" And I said, "Well, yield was high." And I said, "You're right at the threshold." And I said, Tony's just about to run the air test, and he pumps up the little meter, taps the gauge, makes sure it's at the right spot, releases the pressure, slaps the side of it, 5%. And I go, "Well, after correction, you're at 4.7. He goes, "Well, that's close enough." I looked at Tony. I looked over at Rory, who was the superintendent from Reith Riley, the prime contractor. Rory looked at Tony, and we just both looked at each other again, and we both turned and walked away.
Ain't good enough. No.
Oh, Tony came unglued on this
Oh.
QC guy.
Oh.
What do you mean this is fucking close enough? It's not even within the goddamn spec. No, this is why no one wants to use your fucking bullshit mix.
Oh.
And I turned and walked away. It's like, nope.
Yeah, really. The fewer witnesses as possible, the better.
Yep.
There might be a pair of boots sticking out from under the next concrete pour.
Gonna get buried like Hoffa. Yeah, he just came unglued on this guy.
Oh yeah.
So a couple weeks later,
I've actually done that a time or two when somebody's going, "Oh, but we can cut corners; it saves money," and I'm going, "Cutting corners and saving money loses customers we need to stay alive."
mm-hmm.
And it was almost an old Dan moment. I mean, seriously, that voice came out, and I'm just going. I don't care what your rank is. I don't care what your position is. If you endanger the company that is paying my bills, you're not going to be on my Christmas card list. No.
A couple weeks later, we had another concrete pour. The Ozinga guy the Smith QC guy showed up again. This time he parked about 100 yards down the road, waited until we were done running the test, making the beams, everything else.
Staying as far away from Tony as possible.
Came to within about 20 yards, which Tony's still fairly accurate with his pistol at that range.
Who wouldn't be? I mean, what proper redneck can't hit something the size of a quarter at 20 yards. Not me, because I can't see something the size of a quarter at 20 yards. Um,
He's like, did everything pass? Tony goes, yeah, everything was good today. Oh, okay. You guys need anything? Tony goes, yeah, for you to keep sending decent mix like this, and turns and walks off.
Smart ass. I love people like that. No fear. Uh, just absolute honesty, no fear whatsoever. No,
I,
nobody's gonna dare go against him. Going, oh yeah, but this is too expensive. Well, you want the bridge to fail?
mm. Tony is so. The first job Tony was on at NDOT, he was actually working with my wife, and it
Mm-hmm.
was the second or third day on the job, and they were having issues with Spanos, which is one of the painting companies. They do a lot. They do. If I had to guess, I'd say they've painted probably 99% or better of all the bridges in Northwest Indiana. Like they're the ones that normally win the contract. Win the bids for that stuff, and they do great quality work.
Now,
Like you
when you say painting, what
uh,
exactly is this? The lines on the side and down the middle of the road, or
no, this is the steel beams.
oh, yes, protecting them from rust.
Yep.
Okay.
Because we actually have, there's a little tester that we put on the side of the beam after the paint's dried that'll tell us the thickness of the paint, and
Mm-hmm.
um
I'm familiar
like
with that, not from personal experience, but because there are inspections on the British canal boats that I'm subscribed to dozens of channels of different people that live on canal boats, and they've gone over and over again. Yeah, they can take this thing and stick it up against the boat and tell exactly how thick the paint is. And if it's not up to spec, you go back and you try and sue the manufacturer for cheating you.
mhm. Yeah, these guys are always like, they've got their thickness down. They do a great job, because we have to go in and inspect it after they've sandblasted it, and then we have to inspect each coat, and it gets 3 coats, and they are always within parameters. So the issue we generally have with them, though, is containment. When they're sandblasting, it especially around waterways like they were,
Yeah.
it should not look like that the waterway suddenly had an algae bloom
Mm-hmm.
of specks of green paint.
Hang on just a second. Let me um
Gonna wake up Dawn here, aren't you? Oh,
ladies and gentlemen, if it sounds like I'm a redneck and I understand exactly what Joe Bachman is saying, it's because I am a redneck and I understand exactly what Joe Bachman is saying, even though I've never worked in that industry before in my life. It relates to farming, it relates to any kind of construction, and it relates to a lot of things that have been part of my personal life for longer than you want to know about.
so they have to maintain an 85% containment. They weren't even doing that.
Mm.
So their big meeting, you know, the prime contractor, Spanos, the NDOT area engineer, the project manager over it, like everybody had to have this big meeting because that is a huge environmental no-no. And
Familiar.
you know, when they do bridge painting like that, they have to notify IDEM that it's going on.
Mm.
So it's already on IDEM's radar. IDEM being the Indiana Department of Environmental Management. So similar to the DNR, but different. So you're already on their radar. They're already going to be driving past.
Mm-hmm.
And even the inspectors on the job site, they see IDEM or the DNR driving past, and everybody's sphincters go to the point you can't fit angel hair pasta through there.
Well, nor should you even try.
But so they have this big meeting, you know, get everything cleaned up, everything's good. So they put Tony on watching them. And
oh, that's not going to go good for them.
this is like Tony's third day. You know, he's within his first week of work, first week or two of being on the construction side. And the project manager just basically looked at him and went, "Go bird dog, you know, go hawk them." And
Exactly.
they, you know, he went up to the guys, and it's the weirdest mix of people that work at that company. It's Greek owned, which
That's not necessarily a bad thing.
so are 6 out of the other 6 out of the 7 that are actually in the area. But it's Greek owned. The old man is Greek. His son, who works for him, you know, of course, is Greek. Every worker underneath them, Hispanic.
But they're good workers.
They're great workers, except you got 2 people trying to speak broken English and Greek mixed with some Spanish to a bunch of Hispanics that some of them can't even do the broken English.
Well, I would say that this is the job that Lindsay was born for, but she doesn't speak Greek. It's British, American, French, German, a little bit of Italian, and Spanish, and she's damn good at Spanish.
Mhm.
I mean, English was her second language. And she's not even Hispanic. She's British.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
and I'm just sitting here going, you know that little translator thing that somebody's selling that you can talk into and it speaks in the language you're trying to translate into? Y'all need some of them.
so he's, you know, he's watching them, and containment's failing. He stops them, tells them, you know, you got to get it buttoned up. They kind of half-ass it, go back, still not contained. Finally, you know, third strike, he just goes, "Okay, you guys are done. Go. You're off the job for the day." So the one guy, we pack up. We have to leave. Yes, gotta leave. You're done. Well, one guy's kind of packing up. The other guy goes back and he's kind of looking over his shoulder at Tony. And he turns on the sandblaster again and he starts sandblasting this beam. And Tony, no, get the fuck off my goddamn project right now.
You are not only fired, you are evicted.
Yeah.
Tony sounds like somebody I'd really enjoy knowing, as long as I knew what not to say.
Tony is a very special breed of human.
Aren't we all?
He is not politically correct at all.
Check.
He is more, and not to get political, but to kind of give the whole basis of Tony, he's more Republican leaning, but he is not MAGA.
Okay, understood.
But he will also poke the bear on both sides of the aisle without remorse.
Sounds like fun.
He isn't, he doesn't care what you claim your pronouns to be. You are either he, him, or she, her.
Yeah, I there are people that just go, it's not as much as a spectrum as you think.
And he is also, he's not racist because he hates everybody unless you have 4 legs and furry. He just hates everybody. He doesn't care about the color of the skin.
Tell me what brand of beer he drinks.
But he is one of those friends that I know if I call him at 3 a.m. going, I need you to bring your truck and a shovel. He's
also going to bring a tarp and some quicklime.
Yeah. He's going to bitch and moan about it, but he's going to show up.
Yeah. No. The brand of beer is really important for me to get a cultural wrap on this.
Guinness.
Oh, fuck, he's elite.
He's Italian.
It doesn't matter. He's drinking Irish beer.
Yeah, Guinness is one of his favorite beers. But yeah. And in his younger days, he was a very much a tequila and vodka person.
That's a dangerous combination. Those are 2 strange mixtures. Ask Uncle Carl. You don't really want to tackle that unless you're got a desk you're ready to crawl under real quick.
Yeah, that's what he used to drink when he was DJing. So he was a professional DJ for about 30 years. 25, 30 years.
Yeah. I could see that. I could see that. Oh, this is for Aunt Donna.
He started DJing back when the raves were really big, like the underground clubs and stuff.
Yeah.
Then he started DJing at bars, and then he spent probably about a decade in the exotic dancing clubs.
You got to have a taste of this dancer wants this music and this dancer wants this music.
And he had that taste, but he also knew he could also read the crowd in the building. And there were times that he'd look at the dancer that was getting ready to go up on stage and go, I'm not going to play your usual set unless you don't want to make money.
These motherfuckers want Freebird right now.
So
Yeah, when you can read the crowd. Um,
Well, he also started. He had started a game on Sundays when he had to work at the club. If it was dead in there, like if there's no customers or just like a couple, couple of the regulars that normally just sat there and drank and BS'd with everybody, he'd play a game that he called "Screw the Stripper," and he would pick two songs not from their normal genres and see if they could dance to them.
good exercise anyway. Uh,
There was one night, me and a buddy were up at the club that um, he wasn't he didn't work that night, but one of the waitresses was going through and doing this and was picking songs. And we told the waitress, we're like, see if the DJ has Cotton Eye Joe.
oh Lord, that's going to be a lot of movement on the pole
She
dancer.
she ends up playing it for this one dancer. This dancer had two different personas that she did throughout the night, and she would switch between the two
Hmm.
throughout the night, depending on what the crowd was. Either heavy metal rocker chick or Marilyn Monroe.
Oof. Wonder what the blend would be like.
Well, she'd go back to the dressing room and redo her makeup, what outfit she was wearing, and depending on what she walked out wearing, the DJ knew which genre she was wanting played at that point.
Well, yeah, you pick up on that sort of thing.
Yeah. So, she might be out there for the first few hours doing the heavy metal rocker chick, and if no one's really, you know, throwing money up on the stage or getting dances or anything, she'd go in back, do up her hair, makeup, you know,
Come
different
back as
outfit.
Marilyn.
Yep. Go to Marilyn Monroe, come out and dance to some slower songs. And, normally if one wasn't working, the other one did.
Yeah,
You know,
I've been in clubs like that. I mean, not on stage, but uh, as somebody that ran out of dollar bills, and ladies were going, "Oh, I'm sorry you're broke. Let me give you a free table dance." Oh my
I,
God, I can see heaven.
one of the dancers that I've known for years, one night, me and a couple buddies go up there and it's wintertime. I got my bright yellow reflective winter jacket on. And walking back to where we were sitting at, you had to walk right next to the stage. Well, the stage has black lights on it.
And the yellow reflective vest shows up really well
Oh,
in UV.
I light it up like the Christmas tree in New York City. You know, I go walking right past her, make eye contact, wave, go and sit down. We're having drinks. She gets over to the table about 45 minutes later, looks at us and goes, "Well, when did you show up?" "Amber, I walked past you. You were on stage." "Well, I didn't see you." "You looked at me. I had the jacket on." Like,
I was
how the hell did you not see me? It's a 4X jacket.
I was at a club once, and uh, one guy's friends were throwing him a birthday party. And one of the dancers got up on the table in their booth and was doing a dance and tripped and fell. And this guy's birthday present was right there. And the bouncers go, "Hey, that was an accident. It doesn't count on doesn't count for reaching out and touching somebody. He's trying to keep her from falling down.
Yep.
But he got bragging rights with his friends for the next 5 years. I mean, how many strippers plant their ass on your face?
Right. So me and my couple buddies that go up there for drinks all the time, we were deemed the safe table.
Yes, been there.
You know, the dancers knew that they could leave their drinks there. You know, they'd leave their purses there. And by the end of the night, when we were getting ready to leave, we're sitting there going, okay, this one belongs to this one belongs to this one. And we're walking around to the different tables, dropping off their stuff as we're leaving.
I have had that happen. I was there with one of my friends who is sadly no longer with us, and the girls. Let's just say he was a babe magnet for no obvious reason other than the fact that he was a babe magnet. Not muscles, not anything, just ordinary redneck guy, shorter than me. And the girls kept coming up and they go, well, wait till we're finished with the show and come backstage. And I'm going, you're like a deer in headlights. What am I supposed to do now? They obviously don't want me. And at the end of the show, he just puts his empty beer bottle down, goes, yeah, let's go home. I'm going, what about your invitation? And he goes, that was performance art. That wasn't real.
Mhm.
However, those 5 girls cleaned both of us out. I mean, they made like $500 on a table alone between the two of us. Just $1 at a time.
There was one night, my buddy John had just gotten out of a relationship, and I was working for him at the time. We were doing DirecTV, and we didn't have anything for the next day. I told him, I said, we're going to go out to eat, have some drinks, just get you out of the house, you know. So I pull up. Now, mind you, John was the owner of the company. You know, just more money than he knew what to do with. And I show up at his house. I got this little, rink-a-dink Cavalier. You know, he's got, a couple pickup
car.
You know, he's got a couple, brand new pickups, a caddy. I go in and we're bullshitting. And I'm like, our another buddy shows up, and I'm like, okay, let's go get some food. So let's head up to Quaker Steak and Lube. He's like, okay. So we go walking outside, and he starts walking towards his vehicles. I said, where are you going? He goes, get into the vehicle. I'm like, no, you're getting in my Cavalier. He goes, why would we be getting into your Cavalier when I've got 2 pickups and a Cadillac sitting over here? I said, because I'm not driving one of those after we've been drinking.
Attract too much attention.
So we all pile in my little Cavalier, go up to Quaker Steak and Lube. We eat dinner, have a couple beers. And he's like, oh, he goes, this was fun. He goes, felt good to get out. I said, oh, we're not done yet. He goes, what do you mean we're not done yet? So this is the whole reason why I was driving. I said, we're heading up to the club next.
Okay, okay. Unwarranted evil grin. I'm sorry.
I said, it's $2 drink night.
Ooh.
And so we get up there, it was $2 admission to get in that night. And basically, as long as it wasn't like either imported beer or Jack Daniels, it was $2. So I drank, we sit down and they both ordered Coronas, which were $4 a piece.
Basically water, like what I drink.
And I order a Captain and Coke and a shot of Goldschlager.
Ooh, big spender.
But those were both $2 a piece. So I got a Captain and Coke and a shot of Goldschlager for the same amount they paid for their one beer. So waitress comes over and I pay her, and my buddy John looks at me, he goes, "How much was that?" I said, "That's only $4." He goes, "My beer was $4." I said, "I told you, don't order import and don't order Jack. Otherwise it's pretty much $2." He's like, "Oh," he's like, "Well, I'm gonna have to switch after I finish this." And he looks at my shot glass, he goes, "You say that was Goldschlager?" I said, "Yeah." He reaches across the table, dips his finger in the shot glass, licks his finger, he goes, "Oh, I haven't had that since high school."
Here. You done stuck your finger in it, it's yours.
He goes, "How much was that?" I said, $2. He goes, "Oh, we're getting drunk tonight." Again, reason why I wanted to drive my Cavalier.
There are so many nights back in my ill-spent youth where I showed up and just walked in, and there were a couple of my friends, and they were having a party, and I got in on the party, but not the action. Uh, there were things that
Well,
happened after those parties that I was not invited to. And I'm going, that's fine. I don't
well,
need another wife at this time. Uh,
to make matters worse, my other buddy Randy showed up. He works up at the mills, and like John, has more money than he knows what to do with. So after I paid for my first round, I didn't buy a single drink after that.
Actually, I've experienced that maybe twice in my life. Somebody else was being a big spender. I mean, really, and the girls obviously paid him the most attention, but I'm sitting there going, I still have to drive home. It's 35 miles. Um, what are the chances I'm going to run into a license check on the way to the house?
Well,
And there have been times when uh, closing one eye was not an option. Just it was
mm,
a necessity. Um,
well, I know each round was running about $40 between the drinks and how much they were tipping the waitress.
mm,
Um, I think the round itself was coming out to about $20, and they would just toss 40 up on the waitress's tray and tell her to keep the change.
keep them coming, sweetheart.
And that was drinks for us, drinks for some of the dancers that were sitting there. Like it
Mm,
was a long night, and finally, I got John home, and he lived out in the countryside of Valpo, and he didn't think to turn off his porch lights before we left. And he has this nice wraparound porch on the house with the little recessed lights every so often.
yeah,
So every bug in Porter County was now
was
outside
there.
his house. And he's looking at the door just kind of swaying back and forth, and he's got the key in his hand. He goes, "I can do this," and he takes off. It was what was supposed to be a run. It was more of a. He was stumbling forward, but somehow still managing to stay upright.
A controlled stumble.
Managed to get his key into the door lock, turn it, and then fell into the house. I was right behind him. I moved his legs, grabbed the key out of the lock, shut the door real quick before more bugs got in. Got him up, made sure he made it up the stairs. I looked at the key. He hit it perfect. Like, he got it in, turned it, and as he fell, he managed to bend the key. Luckily, did not break it off in the lock.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Chris.
How you doing, Chris?
It's gone well.
Our day has probably not been as fun as yours since you were at the party, but thank you for showing up.
Yeah.
Stumbling in the door.
He called me the next morning. He goes, "Where are you at?" "I'm at home." "Why didn't you just stay here?" "Because I got you home, so I knew I could make it home." "All right." "What the hell happened to my house key?" Said I left it on the counter in the kitchen. He goes, "Yeah, I found it. What the hell happened to it?" I said, "You damn near broke it off in your door as you went a stumble run towards the door to beat the bugs, and somehow managed to have it positioned correctly in your hand to jab it in, turn, and fall."
That pretty much sounds like this past Helicon for me, because Lindsay Squares, I opened the door, I stepped inside the room, and I promptly fell down. And when I woke up, she had somehow managed to drag me to the bed and liver me up into where she could put covers over me. I'm going, "I don't remember any of that." And she goes, "I'm not fucking surprised. You were drunk as shit."
Chris said he started cooking a little after 10 a.m. was done about 2:15. Not bad.
Hey, Joe Dog said the party went well. I hope you enjoyed yourself, Chris. You didn't let John put any carrots in your chili, did you?
And if you did you at least put ice down his back?
This would take about a 25-gallon bag of ice to punish him for that. Good God. When we had the chili cook-off that 1 year at Helicon, people were mixing his chili with my chili because mine was too mild and his was way too hot because he added in peppers he had grown himself that year. And they were a little bit above everybody else's spice range. I said, "Yeah, it was good mixing the two together as long as you left the carrots out." And I'm going, "Why the hell did John put carrots in chili? This is totally un-American. That's a war crime." And John goes, "No, it's only a war crime the first time."
Right.
What do you mean, nope? You didn't have a good time? Oh. I don't see how that could. You're at a party surrounded by pretty girls. Oh, Joe Dog was there. I can see how you didn't have a good time. Okay. Um,
Ooh, government sending out a message. Ah.
I warned you.
Oh,
One of these days, his errant ways are going to force you into a. Oh no, there weren't any carrots in any chili. Thank God. Uh, I don't know where John got that. I really don't. Probably in the sandbox somewhere. Um, I mean, he was sent there to blow stuff up. He was not sent there to cook chili. Um,
yeah, we're gonna have to wrap this up here shortly. It's just about 10:30, and I'm gonna
I
have to make a
agree. I agree.
run down the hall, but to run down the hall, I gotta run down the basement, up the stairs, through the kitchen, down the hall.
Over the hills and through the woods. Yeah. Let's just go ahead. Let's just go ahead.
Dodging the cats along the way.
Oh no, that's the hard part.
Well,
Uh,
that's the over the hill and through the woods.
yeah, tripping hazards. All right. Thank you very much, Joe. I really enjoyed your company tonight. Really enjoyed the stream by Thesis earlier tonight,
Mhm.
and I hope a lot of people watch that and really respond because it was an excellent history lesson. Um, we shall see you. Um, let's see. I don't know if you've got a stream going Monday for Behind the Code. You're
No,
not finished, I know, but
no. Thesis is doing his Monday night streams now,
oh yeah.
the Nine Dragons playthrough. So
Mm-hmm.
since there was nothing from Indie CD on Tuesday nights, I decided to fill that time slot.
There you go.
So it'll be Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central for Behind the Code. Wednesday night we'll have Creatives at Play at the same time, same bat time, same bat channel. Um, and if y'all are wanting to listen to music, go to either Twitch or Kick and look up Indie CD Music.
I've got it bookmarked. I actually play it when I'm writing.
There you
I mean, it's my music, but it's my music, and if I can get if I can't get inspired by it, let's get the right emphasis on the right syllable.
go. Yep.
Um, yeah, and we will probably see each other in the chat on Thesis's Nine Dragons play stream, which I always look forward to.
Hmm.
Not only his Monday play streams, the game streams, but the Saturday night history lessons, because quite frankly, I learn an awful lot. It's just incredible. Um, we need to get this guy a panel at a convention where he can just sit there for 2 hours and
Mm.
educate people on his favorite things. And it's not the green room, so I'm not going there. Okay. Well, I'm going to hit the end stream button, and there's going to be credits and whatnot going off. And we are going to say goodnight.
Have a good night, folks.
And somewhere, Dawn is reaching for her sock puppet. I feel real good about that. She doesn't know why. She's just reaching for it in her sleep.
I've slipped the surly bonds of earth and danced the skies on laughter-silvered wings. Sunward I've climbed and joined the tumbling mirth of sun-split clouds and done 100 things you have not dreamed of. Wheeled and soared and swung high in the sunlit silence. Hovering there, I've chased the shouting wind along and flung my eager craft through footless halls of air. Up, up the long, delirious, burning blue, I've topped the windswept heights with easy grace, when never lark nor even eagle flew. And while with silent, lifting mind, I've trod the high, untrespassed sanctity of space, put out my hand and touched the face of God.